First nigga outside before sunrise. Old school ways, but I'm still a young guy. A real trooper, I be grinding on the front line. Hungry for the money, I'ma eat like it's lunchtime. Really out here, nigga, let's go band for band. Made a lot of transactions, I'm talking hand to hand. Based on the statistics, I never had a chance. Still I sketched a blueprint and I mapped the plan. First case crash, took me in for crack rock. 54th and Duwarty, that was the crack block. Stood solid, never folded like a laptop. Trying to get to school, getting banged on at the dash stop. Can you give me a pistol is what I asked Pops. Late nights walking through the ops on Ascot. Really repping for the team like a mascot. Doing stupid shit, I could've really got my ass shot. Second charge that I caught was a gun case. Got bail money, I ain't got a fundraise. Still remember being broke with a fun day. Overgrind cause debts can't go unpaid. So I'm serving like way to serve lunch trade. The 2 doors a Challenger, not a Mustang. Chop her down like a barber, it was one phase. Cameras everywhere, we gon' flush it if they come raid.
What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Young Woo, back with some more on the Block News, man. Before I even get this shit started, make sure y'all hit that like, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, man. Not later, but right now. Listen, man, we about to get into this hood politics video. You feel me? One of my favorite hood channels on YouTube. You feel what I'm saying? I've been watching them for maybe a couple of years now, but I ain't gonna do too much talking, man. The title of this video: Boy follows his dad into gang life, and both of them are killed. You feel me? So we finna see what he talking about right now. Let's get it.
Welcome to Hood Politics. In this episode, I will be discussing the stories of Andrew Bender III and his father, Andrew Bender II, also known as the Bubs, from neighborhood Compton, Crip. The facts of the case are as follows. On Wednesday, January 27th, 2016, just before 9 a.m., a 19-year-old man named Andrew Bender III and his friend Adele were walking down Cedar Street on their way to a nearby market. A few moments later, they saw a man named Cornell standing on the sidewalk. They approached him and asked him where he was from, and he told them that he was from Nutty Block Compton Crip. They told him they were from neighborhood Compton Crip and continued walking. As they walked back from the store, a man with a gun approached them from behind and opened fire. Andrew was shot multiple times and fell to the ground. Adele took off running, and when he looked back, he saw the man standing over Andrew.
Okay, so to my understanding, that the neighborhood Compton Crips and the Nutty Block Compton Crips are enemies. So for you to run into your enemy and they tell you they from your opposition hood, and for you to just continue on, it kind of sounds like it should be more should have been said in that story. I guess niggas wasn't tripping, but clearly the nigga from Nutty Block was. You feel what I'm saying? Because I know in LA, you know, niggas banging on you to see where you from because they want to make sure you're not an op. So once they find out you're an op, niggas go either get off on you with the pistol or just get off on you with the fist and put B to A, belt to eyes. You feel what I'm saying? But for them niggas to see their enemies banging on them, then walk to the store like nothing going on, it's crazy. You feel what I'm saying? We're going to keep this shit going on.
The shooter then ran to a gold Dodge Avenger and fled the scene. Once making it to safety, Adele called 911, and less than a minute later, police and paramedics arrived at the scene. They found Andrew lying on the ground. He had been shot 10 times. Paramedics transported him to the hospital, where he underwent emergency surgery and was placed on life support. Detectives arrived at the scene and began their investigation. They started by visiting nearby homes and speaking to witnesses. An unnamed man said he was at home relaxing when he heard gunshots. He looked out the window and saw a man running down the street holding a silver handgun, and he saw Andrew lying on the ground. Another neighbor named Monica also heard the gunshots. She looked out her window and saw a man running towards a yellowish car. She saw him grab his pants and appear to put something in his waistband. He then got into the car and it sped away. Investigators then obtained surveillance footage from a nearby home. The video showed Andrew and Adele walking down the street on their way home from the store. At the same time, Cornell got into the Avenger and pulled over to the side of the street. A few moments later, the shooter ran from across the street and opened fire on Andrew and Adele. He then got into the Avenger and the car sped away. Investigators then started searching for Cornell and the gunman. Everyone hoped that Andrew would pull through, but sadly, that wasn't the case. And 2 weeks after the shooting, on Tuesday, February 9th, Andrew Bender III was pronounced dead. He died 9 days shy of his 20th birthday.
And this is the story of many young niggas, man. Niggas don't get to see 21 or even their 20th birthday, you feel me? Some niggas don't even make it to 18. I done heard numerous stories of young niggas banging and they don't even get to see what it feel like to be in their 20s or even be grown for that matter. You feel what I'm saying? This life right here, it only comes with death or jail. Y'all didn't heard that before. It's only one way to end. It's only two ways to go out: death or jail. You feel what I'm saying? And based on the story of the account that happened, it seemed like these two niggas was green. Like they ain't recognize that. I don't know, maybe the enemy acted like they wasn't tripping. But when you run into your ops, for what I know, you supposed to get busy. Like ain't no running to your ops on the way to the store and I'm still going to the store. My mama, this sound like boys in the hood. You feel what I'm saying? They coming from the store and they seen the niggas that's really they brothers' enemies, but it's like, just imagine they see them niggas lurking on them and they just start walking. Like, nah, they knew it was up. You feel me? Even though Ricky died, nigga knew it was up. Nigga knew to get your ass out the way. This store trip is over. The lollygagging is up. Nigga, it's time to get, if you ain't got no strap on you, nigga, you gotta run. You gotta get away, my nigga, on my mama. Like, and you supposed to be aware. Like, this, 100% of this gangbanging survival, or 90% is awareness. You feel me? Because it could come from the left, come from the blind side. You feel me? You got to recognize and have discernment in situations. You feel me? We're going to keep this shit going up.
Andrew was affectionately known as Head by his family and friends, and he was born and raised in Compton. He started playing different sports at the age of 5, but once he discovered football, that was all he wanted to do, and sometimes he even played in 2 leagues at once. As he got older, Andrew was introduced to the gang life. His father, Andrew Bender II, was a well-known member of the neighborhood Compton Crips and went by the nickname Lil Bubs. Andrew followed his father into the gang life and also became a member of neighborhood and also went by the nickname Bubs. His mother, Tiffany, noticed him getting involved in the streets and knew that his goal was to make it to the NFL. So in an effort to keep him safe and focused on football, she moved the family out of Compton when he was in 10th grade and enrolled him in Poly High School in Long Beach, which has one of the best football programs in the state. Andrew joined the team and was doing well.
I'm going to pause it right here. Look, that's what really gangbanging do. It tears down families, right? So, you know, a lot of niggas I know that gangbang, whether it's from my hood or other neighborhoods, right? You feel me? They father did it first. You feel me? Everybody want to be like they daddy. Everybody want to look up to their father and try to emulate them or relive the life they daddy lived. Because it's usually your daddy was the gangster. Your daddy laid the blueprint, the foundation. You know, your daddy made it bold for you to be around the hood. You feel me? I got a similar situation as that. You know, my daddy, he really from the hood. He really got respect and everything like that. But one thing I can say my dad did well, he sheltered me from the gang life. Even though I grew up in a gang neighborhood, you feel me, I'm still from the hood. But, you know, like, I didn't see the gang pictures and shit until I got older. You feel me? And now I understand why he did that. He didn't want me to be a part of this shit. He already know, because he seen, you know, my friends following the footsteps of their fathers, like, right? So, and when I finally did, because, you know, to me, for a long time, my pops was a square to me. Like, nigga, what? You saying blood? Like, nigga, you sound stupid as a motherfucker. Like, what are you talking about, nigga? What the fuck, nigga? You feel me? Sounded like a square to me. But then, as I got older, I see the gang flicks. You feel me? I hear the stories. I seen how he was with younger. And it sparked a feeling inside of me. Like, yeah, this shit in me. Like, I've been supposed to be pushing this shit. Like, I felt like if I would have seen the gang bang side of my pops too early, I would have been really, 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 really deep up in this shit. You feel me? My daddy survived though, and I'm still here. You feel me? My pop's still here. You know, for the most part, for all parts, he did well as a father. You feel me? And I understand why he sheltered me. I got a lot of friends where, you know, they pops was open arms to them gang banging. Like, come on, son, you gonna be my little homie. You feel what I'm saying? And it's sad, it ain't a good thing, but this is the environment we raised in, you feel me? But this is a cautionary tale of what can happen when you show that your son or your kids the the negative side of your life. You feel me? Or your old life that you grew out of. You feel me? Because growing up as a young nigga in the hood, when your daddy's a gangster, all you do is hear the good stories and how people love him, how much respect he get. You feel me? And it's in the Bible. Whatever the daddy do, the son is gonna do. So whatever you show your son is what he's gonna do. You feel what I'm saying? He's gonna want to be like his father no matter what. You feel what I'm saying? If you made it cool for your son to go to jail, you feel me, and you come home popping it like, yeah, you did this, that, your son gonna want to experience that too and want to keep his name solid and go through it and make sure, you feel what I'm saying? He gonna try to relive what you already been through. But man, we finna keep this shit going, man. Let's get it.
Was doing well, but he developed back problems and had to sit out his senior year. He graduated in 2014 and enrolled in Long Beach City College, but after learning that his girlfriend Sienna was pregnant, he dropped out of college and got a job working as a security guard to provide for his family. Sienna gave birth to their daughter a few months after Andrew's death. Adele spoke with Tiffany about the shooting. He told her that a 36-year-old member of the Atlantic Drive Compton Crips named Anthony King, also known as AWOL, was the shooter. Tiffany got a picture of Anthony and asked Adele, "Is this the man that killed my son?" And Adele replied, "Yes." Tiffany then relayed that.
So I'm kind of confused. Like, at this time, was the Nutty Block Compton Crips and the neighborhood Compton Crips cool? Because where did the Atlantic Drive Compton came through? It seemed like a situation where maybe at that time the neighborhood Compton Crips and the Nutty Block Compton Crips was cool, and the Atlantic Drive Compton Crip, when he got banged on, he said a hood that was allies with that hood to throw niggas off. You feel what I'm saying? That get done a lot in the gangbanging world. You feel me? Man, some niggas act like, you know, some niggas hood so big they act like they from your hood just to get your attention and start busting on you. I know a story about that. You feel what I'm saying? But we gonna keep this shit going.
Tiffany then relayed the information to investigators. The neighborhood Compton Crips and the Atlantic Drive Compton Crips were once close allies, along with the Kelly Park Compton Crips and the Southside Compton Crips. The four gangs have close ties through family and friends and spent decades fighting back-to-back against rival Pyru and Crip gangs. BG Scarface, who was a well-known member of Atlantic Drive and a part of the Bangin' on Wax music compilation, spoke on the close relationship the gangs once shared.
Everybody you grew up with, just one pack. One pack broke off the End Hood, one pack broke off the Kelly Park, one pack broke off the South Side, and I broke off to Atlantic Drive. You see what I'm saying? Everybody just grow up. You lose somebody from that pack, you retaliate on the other side, you know what I'm saying? Kelly Park's wear blue and green, the End Hood's wear blue and orange, South Side's wear blue and gold, we wear powder blue and dark blue. You know what I'm saying? We just, everybody Crips. My homies, you know, my homegirls just banging to the fullest. 12-year-old, 9-year-old, 5-year-olds, you know what I'm saying? Banging to the fullest, just Crip. They don't give a fuck. Niggas just Crip. Crip, 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 Crip. You know what I'm saying?
And that's facts. In every hood around, you got niggas gangbanging. I know young niggas that was gangbanging, came straight out the womb gangbanging. You feel me? And in the hood, you see a lot of that where, you know, you get praised for throwing up. Look at my young nigga chunking up the hood. Like, you feel me? That niggas get pumped up. I ain't gonna lie. Motherfuckers be pumped up when they see their kids want to follow their footsteps and chunking up the hood. You feel what I'm saying? I'm just saying, I done witnessed it. You know, and to this day, you know, them be the I say that a lot of people groom their kids to be gang members. You feel what I'm saying? You know, I don't condone it, but I'm just saying I'm aware of it. A lot of people condone and groom their kids to be the best gang members. You feel me? They want their kids to be tough as a motherfucker, and it's just a repeated cycle, a never-ending cycle. You feel me? To keep this shit going on.
In the early 2000s, the gangs had a falling out. Many said it wasn't just one incident that caused the feud, but multiple incidents over time that ultimately led to gunplay. The gangs then split into two sides, with Neighborhood and Kelly Park on one side and Southside and Atlantic Drive on the other. Different people from both sides tried to squash the issue and bring the gangs back together, but their efforts didn't work and the gangs went to war. In April of 2007, an 18-year-old man named Jamal Mahone and his brother Matthew went to a party. They were both from Neighborhood. While at the party, they encountered members of Southside and a fight broke out. The Southside members told Jamal and Matthew to meet them at South Park so they could fight again. Later that night, there were about 50 people at South Park when Jamal and Matthew arrived with around 30 people. The groups then set up multiple one-on-one fights. Jamal lost his fight, and Matthew knocked out a Southside member named Albert Beckley, also known as Bluebird. A few weeks later, on May 14th at around 8 p.m., Jamal, Matthew, and a few others were hanging out on Pauline Street in neighborhood territory. A few minutes later, a silver car came driving down the street, and Albert leaned out the window with the gun and opened fire. A woman was grazed in the forehead and shot in the foot. Jamal was shot in the chest and died at the scene. Investigators later arrested Albert and the driver.
So man, listen, the gangbanging shit, like, when niggas get in gang fights at parties, you feel me, people get embarrassed. People feel humiliated, you know, so all that inviting you to their hood parks and all that shit to run a fade so we could, that shit ain't always the best idea, you feel what I'm saying? You got to think about the consequences that come with that. So if you fought a nigga at a party and he feel like he didn't get the best of you, so he wants you to come to the hood and fight, you feel me, that could go either two ways. It could go multiple ways. You come to his hood, you beat him up, he could kill you, right? You come to his hood, he could kill you. You feel what I'm saying? Either way, it's going to be the more drama. Now, it's been at times where, you know, the homies, you know, they got into it with the Avalons at a party, right? And, you know, this the time, you know, Avalons and the Pueblos, cool. I don't know what's going on. What's the status of, you know, the relationship right now between the Avalons and the Pueblos? But this was around the time where, you know, we super cool with the Avalons. We could go to South Park. You feel me? That's the same name as they park, and they could come to Slauson Park. So they got into it with the homies the night before, and the nigga Lil Bo, R.I.P., you feel what I'm saying? He was able, because to me, he was like a G homie from over there. He set it up like, yeah, niggas just want to, the Avalons came to Slauson Park, nigga, and ran they fades. On my mama, that shit was so gangster. Like, the homie that they fought, one of them wasn't even there, so my other homie, he ran a fade for him. Nigga got down, nigga got busy, both sides did their thing, you feel me? Niggas shook hands, it was no beef. It was no beef, you know, but that's rare situation. That's rare situation. Niggas didn't go feel humiliated, you know, with no crowd. It wasn't nothing but Pueblos and Avalons, a few Pueblos, a few Avalons. I was there, you feel what I'm saying? And the turnout was cool, you feel me? So that's in rare situations, but not all the time, you feel me? So this was one of those occasions where this wasn't, nah, nigga, no matter how cool they was, niggas felt like they got beat up at their park, and niggas came and slid on them a couple weeks later, and they killed one of the niggas that came to that park and fight. Sometimes it's better to just walk away from a fight. I know niggas want to prove how gangsta, how tough they is, but don't nobody want to lose. You feel what I'm saying? And you really don't know how a motherfucker gonna react when they do lose. So let's get this shit back going.
Another Southside member named Daryl Finn, also known as Lil Freaky, and charged him with Jamal's murder and 2 counts of attempted murder. Albert and Daryl were each sentenced to 50 years to life in prison. On February 7th, 2009, Anthony pulled a gun on a member of Kelly Park named Will and threatened him. Will told another Kelly Park member named William about the incident, and they started looking for Anthony. They drove to a nearby liquor store called Jackrabbit and spotted a 21-year-old Atlantic Drive member named James Hampton, also known as Tiny C, sitting in his car in the parking lot. Will got out his car with an AK-47, ran over to James's car, and shot him to death. William pled guilty to voluntary manslaughter and received 13 years in prison. Will was found guilty of murder and sentenced to 55 years to life in prison. In the years following the fallout, Neighborhood built an alliance with Southside's worst enemy, the Santana Block Compton Crips. In 2013, a member of Santana Block, nicknamed Molly, released a song titled I'm From Compton. The song featured rappers from Anzac Grape Compton Crip and Neighborhood. In the song, they diss Southside and other rival gangs. Andrew can be spotted in the music video throwing up Neighborhood gang signs and dissing Southside. On May 5th, 2014,
So I had wanted to let it play through for a minute, but you know when old boy pulled the gun out on him, but he didn't bust it, and them niggas came back, they ended up killing somebody else. That's why they say if you gonna up it, bust that motherfucker, because motherfuckers take that to the highest disrespect if you pull a strap out on them, especially if you aim it on them, put it to their head, threaten them with it. Niggas don't take that lightly in the streets, fool. A lot of niggas will tell you, nigga, you should have killed me. When they walk up on you and walk you down or walk up on you, they'll tell you, you should have killed me, fool. My mama now do to something that other nigga did. I don't even know if the nigga that put the gun out on them other niggas was from the same hood as him. We got another nigga killed. You feel what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to think about your actions because you're not the only person that got to deal with the consequences. Like, for instance, my hood, if they do something to somebody, they diss a hood, you feel me? I got to expect the consequences that come with that. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of people don't take that into account. A lot of motherfuckers just think they bigger than the program. They like, shit, they didn't get killed, but you putting your homies in danger. You feel what I'm saying? We're going to keep this shit going.
Two Southside members, 18-year-old Omar Williams and 20-year-old Jason Pena, were driving down the street. Moments later, an SUV pulled up next to them, and someone inside the truck aimed a gun out the window and opened fire. Omar and Jason were each hit multiple times, and their car lost control and crashed into other cars. Omar was pronounced dead at the scene, and Jason later died at the hospital. Investigators believe that members of Neighborhood and Santana Block are responsible. The war between the former allies has resulted in multiple murders and dozens of shootings. A few weeks after Andrew's murder, detectives brought Adele in for an interview. He told them that he didn't want to be involved and said that he didn't see anything. Detectives continued to press him and showed him a photographic lineup. He laughed at photo number 3, which was Anthony's photo, and after seeing all 6 photos, he told detectives, break off numbers 5 and 6, and y'all do the rest, man. Detectives tracked down Cornell and brought him in for an interview. Initially, he denied knowing anything about the shooting and said he wasn't in the area at the time. But after investigators told him that witnesses placed him at the scene and they also had video showing him get into the Avenger and drive the shooter away from the scene, he changed his story. Cornell said on the day of the shooting, he was standing in front of his grandmother's house when Andrew and Adele approached him and asked him about his gang affiliation. He told them he was from Nutty Block and they said they were from Neighborhood. The gangs didn't have any issues, so Andrew and Adele continued walking. He said he then got into the Avenger and drove down the street. When investigators asked him about the man that got into his car, he said his name is Anthony King. He said his grandmother lived a house away from Anthony's in-laws and he saw him all the time. Cornell said he was sitting in the Avenger, listening to music and scrolling through his phone when Anthony ran to the car and asked him for a ride to the grocery store. Cornell said okay and dropped Anthony off at a store a few blocks away. He said he didn't know about the shooting until later that day. 3 days later, Anthony was arrested and charged with Andrew's murder.
So I knew it was something with the Nutty Blocks in the neighborhood Compton Crips not having no problem, because it's like if I run into a nigga, you know, that we get along with, you know, that we allies with, like for instance, my neighborhood, you know, you might bang on a Hispanic dude and he say from Florence. Okay, all right, fool. Keep it pushing because it ain't no problems. But it sound like this nigga didn't have no problems with the neighborhood Compton Crips, but he cool with a nigga that got beef with him. You feel me? That's why niggas don't like fucking around with niggas that fuck with they ops. Like, you feel me? If you my op, you duck with him. If you hanging with him, you ducking with him because shit like this. You feel me? Even though y'all didn't have no beef, the nigga you chilling with got beef with the hood. So how that's gonna work? You feel what I'm saying? And he claimed he didn't know nothing about the shooting, but ironically, he was the nigga who drove the nigga off the scene. So I don't know. These niggas be playing games. And another thing, you see how these niggas do when they get into them interrogation rooms. Them niggas drop them neck. Them niggas point out. Them niggas identify suspects, homie. So if you think you gonna do a crime, if you think you gonna do anything, and you hanging with niggas and they claim they got your back, don't believe them. Don't believe them. Somebody's gonna tell, my nigga. Somebody's gonna tell. That's how I think about everything. Every move I make, I feel like if I do something, no matter how much I can trust these niggas, they might tell on me. So if I'm gonna do something, I'm probably gonna do it by myself, or I'm not gonna do it at all. You feel me? I suggest the kids stay away from the gang banging life. You feel me? Stay out the streets, cause you see that a nigga this old up in his 30s. I see some teenagers. You feel me? And that's a big age difference. That's a 20-year difference, and still want to take their life. Some teenagers, like, you holding on to pain from that hood. Because to me, if I'm 30s pushing my 40s, I see some young niggas 18 banging, you feel me, actively banging or whatever. I can't see myself doing something to some kids. I see them as kids, my nigga. So that's just me. That's just how I think. But we're going to keep this shit going.
Murder. Detectives then interviewed him about the shooting. Anthony denied knowing anything about it and said he was nowhere near the area at the time. Investigators obtained a search warrant for his cell phone and found that he was near the scene at the time of the shooting. While in jail, Anthony called his wife, Sandy. She told him that investigators only found one of his cell phones and that she has the others. 4 days later, investigators brought Sandy in for an interview and asked her about the phones.
Crazy.
She told them that she dumped them into a fire pit. A few days later, Anthony called Sandy again. He said he didn't know why he kept his phone and that he should have thrown it into the ocean that day, and if he had done so, there wouldn't be anything to worry about. Ultimately, Anthony was found guilty of murder for the death of Andrew Bender III, as well as gun charges. On October 16, 2018, Anthony King was sentenced to 80 years.
Man, I don't know what these niggas be doing on these jail phones, nigga. I don't want to talk about nothing. My mama, like, man, this, like I said, this one of those tales, like, his wife basically told. And you told too. Y'all talking on a jail phone, talking about she's telling you about the other phones, and then of course the feds is monitoring the phone calls, and you talking about you wish you never had the phone with you on the phone. Niggas is doing too much talking on the phone, homie. Too much talking. I know you already caught. They already got enough evidence against you, but you talking on the phone ain't making it no better. You feel me? I'll be quick if I'm on the phone, my wife, listen, shut the fuck up. Oh, my mama, don't say nothing on this phone. If they want to get me for witness tampering, so the fuck be it. As long as they don't book me for the serious crime. You feel me? So I won't get no serious time. Fuck it, I'm tampering with a witness. But at the end of the day, your wife don't, I think your wife don't even gotta give up information about you, testify against you or nothing. They could just be quiet. You don't have to testify against your husband. At least that's how I go in Power or something. That's how I was looking, or I seen it in some other movie. But anyway, we're gonna keep this shit going.
To life in prison. Neighborhood and Kelly Park continue to have a close relationship, but over the years, even their alliance has been put to the test.
Damn.
On December 5th, 2021, Andrew's father, Andrew Bender II, drove to a man named Marlon's house to get some work done on his car. Detectives then interviewed him about the shooting. Anthony denied knowing anything about it and said he was nowhere near the area at the time.
This year, we opened 2 new restaurants while running, how many?
5 others.
5 other restaurants. So we turned to Upwork. We found freelance pros to help with branding, digital menus, even AI tools to stream.
Investigators obtained a search warrant for his cell phone and found that he was near the scene at the time of the shooting. While in jail, Anthony called his wife, Sandy. She told him that investigators only found one of his cell phones and that she has the others. 4 days later, investigators brought Sandy in for an interview and asked her about the phones. She told them that she dumped them into a fire pit. A few days later, Anthony called Sandy again. He said he didn't know why he kept his phone and that he should have thrown it into the ocean that day, and if he had done so, there wouldn't be anything to worry about. Ultimately, Anthony was found guilty of murder for the death of Andrew Bender III, as well as gun charges. On October 16, 2018, Anthony King was sentenced to 80 years to life in prison. Neighborhood and Kelly Park continue to have a close relationship, but over the years, even their alliance has been put to the test. On December 5, 2021, Andrew's father, Andrew Bender II, drove to a man named Marlon's house to get some work done on his car. A man named Michael lived in a trailer behind Marlon's house and was known as the neighborhood mechanic. The home was located in the heart of Kelly Park territory, and it was a well-known hangout for the gang. At around 12 p.m., Andrew and Michael were headed to an auto parts store when a 49-year-old Kelly Park member named Lawrence Stackhouse approached Andrew in the driveway and said, "I heard you killed my father." Andrew replied, "I didn't kill your father, but I was in the car with the men that did, but that's past me now. I'm moving forward. I don't want to talk about that no more." Andrew and Michael then got into Andrew's SUV and made their way to the auto parts store. While driving, Andrew reached into the center.
Hold on, man. Listen, if a nigga come up to me and say, "I heard you kill my daddy," nigga, I'm not what. Yeah, I probably would tell him I didn't do it, but one thing I'm not gonna do is place myself at the scene of the crime. Cause nigga, you in the car, you rolling with them when they slid on my pops, nigga. Nigga's grown now, and you talking about that's behind you now. Well, nigga, I just approached you and said, "Nigga, I heard you kill my daddy." Do you think it's behind me now, nigga? Nigga, I'm chipping, nigga, cause if I can't get the actual shooter, but you was there, you was in the car. Cause anybody in the car, when you go on a mission, if you in the car with niggas and you sliding, you the driver, you the passenger, and there's one shooter. Everybody getting convicted of murder, nigga. Everybody got something to do with the crime, nigga. You was actively looking for a nigga to murder, which happened to be my daddy, nigga. Oh, my mama. See, me, I understand the nigga. Well, I don't even know what's about to go on in the story because I ain't watched it yet. But if I find out nigga has something to do with killing my daddy, nigga, what? You was in the car. It's behind you now, nigga. What? It ain't behind me, nigga, but you finna be laying flat on this ground, nigga, on my mama, nigga. Listen, man, niggas is crazy to place yourself, to incriminate yourself like that, to place yourself at the scene of a murder when a nigga asks you about killing his daddy is crazy to me. But we gonna keep this shit going.
Console and pulled out a gun. Michael asked what's wrong, and Andrew replied, "Nothing," and put the gun on the side of the seat. A few minutes later, they made it back to the house and noticed Lawrence's Dodge Charger parked in the driveway. Michael didn't know Lawrence personally, but had seen him around and knew that he was a well-respected member of Kelly Park. As they got closer to the house, they noticed several Kelly Park members standing outside. Andrew and Michael got out the SUV and walked to the backyard to continue working on the car. Michael noticed Lawrence was talking to a woman named Sharika in the driveway. A few minutes later, Andrew left the backyard, went to his SUV, and got his gun. He held it down at his side and mad-dogged Lawrence and Sharika as he walked to the backyard. Michael went into the house and told Marlon there was a problem outside. When Michael went back outside, Sharika told him that Andrew was tripping. Lawrence was angry. He pulled a gun from his waistband and laid it on the hood of his car. Michael tried to calm him down, but it didn't work. Lawrence grabbed his gun, got into his car, and sped away. Michael then went to the backyard, and he and Andrew continued working on the car. Michael told Andrew to watch his back. At around 8 a.m. the next morning.
So listen, you gotta recognize what situation you in. You feel me? He's saying a lot of names, and it's hard to tell who's who at this point in the story. But I noticed when he say Andrew, he keep talking to the nigga, telling him to be careful and shit like that. So I'm guessing Michael is the nigga who working on the car. Lawrence is the nigga that's tripping, or maybe Andrew was tripping, but Lawrence slid off, and then Andrew and Michael continue to work on the car. Listen, if I'm in somebody's hood, whether we get along or not, if a nigga asks me did I kill they daddy, and they seem a little bit irritated, I'm starting to see more heads come, more gang members come. Nigga gotta recognize this ain't a safe situation. You could have told Michael, "Hey Michael, I gotta get up out of here. Drop me off at home, and then come get me later when you done my car." The situation's iffy because clearly Michael knows what's going on. Michael telling you to watch your back. You feel me? But I guess niggas feel more comfortable because they got guns on them. But you in somebody else's hood though, like your one gun, it's like you trying to go to war with them niggas. Probably got 10 guns. They in they shit. They got stashes in that motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying? So nigga gotta recognize these dangerous situations and get up out of them. You feel me? Once the nigga recognize me as the nigga that killed the nigga daddy, Nigga, I'm not about to go back to that house. Nigga, what? Nigga, I'm bull. Nigga, I'm not going back to that house, nigga. Oh, mama, nigga, that court. Hey, Michael, that nigga said he remembered me from killing his daddy. I don't think it's safe for me to be there. You can't think you tougher than nobody. You can't think you bigger than the program, especially in somebody else's hood, my nigga. Now, it's unclear if the daddy from neighborhood Compton Crip, it's unclear if the nigga that he killed that was old boy daddy was from Kelly Park, because I don't think they would still be, you know, cool if that allegedly happened, unless, you know, it was a peace treaty or a ceasefire type shit going on, you feel me? But man, nigga, if you, to the kids out there, to anybody out there, if the situation look tricky, niggas starting to mug you and they shit, whatever, you're not a buster for leaving. You're not a buster for getting up out somebody else's hood that ain't yours. You feel what I'm saying? And you know what could go down in somebody else's hood. You're not a mark for that. Nah, you smart for that. My mom, if I see a situation getting too dangerous, getting too many niggas coming around, I'm gonna remove myself from the situation. Straight up, my nigga. And I think that's gangster, but we're gonna keep this shit going.
Andrew went to Marlon's house and woke up Michael so they could finish working on the car. As Michael worked, Andrew sat on a pile of bricks. Police were active in the area at the time, so he put his gun in a nearby plastic tub and covered it with some clothes. At around 8:30, Michael heard Lawrence's Charger and looked down the street. The car drove past the house and made a U-turn. It then stopped in front of the driveway. Lawrence got out the Charger with the gun in his hand and started walking towards Andrew. Andrew started running and Lawrence opened fire, hitting him in the back. Andrew turned around and put his hands up. Lawrence continued walking towards him and shot him 3 more times in his stomach and chest. Andrew fell to the ground and Lawrence walked back to his car. Michael yelled, "What the fuck are you doing, man?" And Lawrence replied, "You alright." He then got into his car and fled the scene. Marlon's son, Marlo, heard the gunshots and ran outside. Andrew told him to get his gun and shoot him. Marlo ran to the plastic tub and got Andrew's gun. He ran to the middle of the street and aimed at Lawrence's car as he sped away, but Michael grabbed him and told him not to shoot. Michael called 911, and a few minutes later, police and paramedics arrived at the scene. They transported Andrew to the hospital, where he died during emergency surgery.
See, hey, it get tricky in the hood sometimes, you know, because it ain't that he wasn't strapped up, right? But the police hot. And we already know when you on the block, you got to watch out for the enemies and you got to watch out for the cops. You need your gun to protect yourself from your enemies or somebody that might want to cause you harm. But you got to keep it hidden because the police, they'll take you to jail for that shit. You feel what I'm saying? It's like you in a lose-lose situation. That's why niggas say they rather get caught with it than without it. They rather get caught with it, but whether it's by the police or their enemies, because they'll be able to defend themselves and shit. At least if they go to jail, niggas still leaving. But if you get caught without it, yeah, you might lose the risk of going to jail, but now your life is in danger. You feel me? So, and another thing, bro, you know, I like what Kevin Gates said one time. Like, all right, it's okay to have your gun to protect yourself, but if you know you need a gun to be there, if you know you need a gun to be there, it's probably best to not even go there, my nigga. Oh, my mama, it's probably not, man, listen. The nigga had a problem with you and he told you killed his daddy, and then you still just hanging around in his hood, in his neighborhood like his boo, like he gonna just, ain't no nigga about to let you, only a buster nigga gonna let you slide for killing his daddy on 52nd Street. On my mama, nigga. I ain't letting no nigga slide for doing nothing. Nigga, I go do, nigga. On my mama, nigga, I go do 100 years, nigga, for popping, killing a nigga that did something to my peoples, nigga. Especially my daddy, nigga. On my mama, nigga. Look, I'm so passionate about it. I could just imagine it. I could just imagine it doing it with a smile on my face, nigga. On my mama, but everybody don't think like that. You know, I guess, and this dude right here that got killed, I guess he wasn't taking the situation as serious as I would. Like, if I killed the nigga daddy, I know how I feel if a nigga kill my daddy, nigga. I'm gonna kill you, fool. I'm gonna kill you, nigga. On my mama, nigga. And I know you did it, nigga. I know where you at, know where you hanging, nigga. I'm gonna smoke you, fool. On my mama, so I just feel like the daddy from neighborhood Compton Crip, he supposed to know this. He supposed to know not to put himself in a situation like this. Once you got identified as killing somebody and a nigga know who you is, you supposed to stay the fuck away from that motherfucker, and stay out they hood. Period. But listen, man, we gonna keep this shit going.
Doctors found that 3 of the 4 gunshot wounds he sustained were fatal. 3 months after the shooting, detectives brought Michael in for an interview. Initially, he was hesitant to tell them what he saw out of fear of retaliation, but ultimately, he decided to tell them what happened and said he saw Lawrence shoot Andrew. Detectives then showed him a photographic lineup containing Lawrence's picture. Michael identified Lawrence as the shooter. In August of 2022, Lawrence was arrested and charged with Andrew's murder. Detectives then interviewed him about the shooting. Lawrence told them that he didn't know anything about it and said he was nowhere near Marlon's house on the day of the shooting. Investigators searched the car he was driving and found a 9mm handgun. During a search of his home, they found a bulletproof vest and a 9mm handgun wrapped inside of a ski mask, as well as 2 magazines. Investigators found the Charger parked in his garage and impounded it. They took information from the Charger's GPS and it showed that the car was near the crime scene on the day of the shooting. Investigators obtained a search warrant for Lawrence's cell phone. They found that his phone pinged on 2 cell phone towers near the crime scene on the day before the shooting and on the day of the shooting. Ultimately, Lawrence was found guilty of murder for the death of Andrew Bender II, as well as gun charges. On February 8, 2023, Lawrence Stackhouse was sentenced to 29 years to life in prison. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
And that's just what come with it. You feel me? From the father to the son. You feel me? The father outlived the son, which is usually the case in this gangbanging shit. Because if you follow in the footsteps of your daddy and your daddy's still here, he a soldier that survived on my mama, and it can make you want to follow his footsteps, because he probably known for being a gangster. As you see, the daddy was known to keep a gun on him. You feel what I'm saying? But man, sad situation, man. I know there's more stories out there like this. Feel me? Rest in peace to these 2 dudes right here, man. Kids, stay out the streets, my nigga. To the fathers out there, man, try your best to shelter your kids from the gangbanging shit, my nigga, because it's the only outcome, jail or death. You feel what I'm saying? Father and son gone. That nigga, you killed that nigga daddy, he gone. And the nigga who killed you, he in jail for life, or 29 years to life. You feel me? He probably come home. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Not later, but right now, my name is Young Woo, this Sid on the Block News.
I be on the block like when crack first hit. If I'm feeling iffy, then my gat gon' spit. I am not a rapper, I don't cap about shit. Dope boy, state of mind, I'm a trap till I'm rich. I be outside like when crack first hit. If I'm feeling iffy, then my gat gon' spit. I am not a rapper, I don't cap about shit. Dope boy, state of mind, I'm a trap till I'm rich. First nigga outside before sunrise. Old school ways, but I'm still a young guy. A real trooper, I be grinding on the front line. Hungry for the money, I'ma eat like it's lunchtime. Really out here, nigga, let's go band for band. Made a lot of transactions, I'm talking hand to hand. Based on the statistics, I never had a chance. Till I sketched a blueprint and I mapped the plan. First case crash, took me in for crack rock. 54th and Duwarty, that was the crack block. Stood solid, never folded like a laptop. Trying to get to school, getting banged on at the dash stop. Can you give me a pistol is what I ask pops. Late nights walking through the ops on Ascot. Really repping for the team like a mascot. Doing stupid shit, I could've really got my ass shot. Second charge that I caught was a gun case. Got bail money, I ain't got a fundraise. Still remember being broke with a fun day. I overgrind cause debts can't go unpaid. So I'm serving like way to serve lunch trade. The 2 doors a Challenger, not a Mustang. Chop them down like a barber, it was one phase. Cameras everywhere, we gon' flush it if they come raid, nigga. I be on the block like when crack first hit. If I'm feeling iffy, then my gat gon' spit. I am not a rapper, I don't cap about shit. Dope boy, state of mind, I'm a trap till I'm rich. I be outside like when crack first hit. If I'm feeling iffy, then my gat gon' spit. I am not a rapper, I don't cap about shit. Dope boy, state of mind,